Richo, let's start with the Newspoll. That number today, as a senior person said to Andrew, the government needs to hold its nerve. Halfway through, there is a long way to go. What's your read?
Well, I don't think you panic when there's a couple of years to go. So I'm not terribly fussed by it. Governments have to go through these dips in the polls. Every government does. So I don't think you get too concerned. You can't let it go on forever, though. So what Albo's got to do is, I think, come up with a couple of goodies that can make people a bit happy. If you're always cutting, if every time there's an economic decision and it's a cut, then people will start to get tired of that. You know, people expect you to give as well as to take.
If you look at the next 12 to 18 months, opportunities for that, 2 more budgets, you would think, if most economists are right, an economic cycle that would see rates come down as opposed to go up at the second half of next year, if that does eventuate, the government would think that the wind would be in its sails politically.
Yeah, one would think so, and those fickle winds out on the water would probably finally align themselves with Labor's sails, and I think we'd be going okay. I look forward to that kind of change. I think most people expect it. That is, people in the economic area expect it, and so you don't worry too much at the end of 1 year. If you're going pretty badly at the end of 2 years, then I think you've got to start to worry. But we're a long way from that.
Yeah, well, that's right. And the other point I think it's interesting to make right now, Richo, is that when you look at polling, obviously all politicians look at it. They get nervous when it goes down, understandably. They love it when it goes up. This would be good for morale for Peter Dutton. He's found his line and length as opposition leader. I think there's no doubt about that. But right now in the cycle, voters are it's a report card on the government. It's not a comparison with the other side at this point.
No, I mean, I see some parallels in popularity with Tony Abbott when he was in opposition and Dutton. Tony Abbott wasn't terribly popular for a while, but nonetheless, he made up some ground and he got there. And that's exactly what Dutton's showing signs of doing too. I think Dutton's doing a lot better than what Labor thought he'd do. And I think he was being dismissed by a lot of people in Labor for a long time. I think that's pretty unwise. This bloke's not stupid. And no. He's like a dog with a bone. He'll keep going until he's chewed the lot.
Yeah, and the idea that he's unelectable is ridiculous, isn't it?
I don't see him as being unelectable.
A very politically savvy person with a lot of miles in the legs, and he's been here 2 decades. And
remember, time after time, when he's held a seat with 2% margin, when there's been 4 and 5% around him. But they can't get him. So this guy's something, he knows how to campaign. He's one of the best campaigners in the Australian Parliament. And so I think this bloke's worth powder and shot. I respect him. And I don't say that I fear him, but I'll be watching him very closely.
Yeah, I reckon the Prime Minister will be as well. He certainly wouldn't be underestimating him, knowing that. And I've had a lot of Liberals say that to me, Richo, in recent times. There's a lot to be said for having a marginal seat holder as the leader of your political party, Richard.
Yeah, they are attuned to what the mob are thinking. They have to be, or they're dead. So I think it gives them an advantage. If you just pick leaders all the time in safe seats, you've got to hope they have the right feel, and not every leader does.